Hi everyone, today is Saturday the 1st of August and I have my competition, the European Under-20 Championships, in approximately 5 days now, so 5 days out. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk to you a bit about my perspective on confidence. So I'll talk a little bit more about the competition and the selection process, so story time, and then try and give you some helpful, actionable advice on how to be more confident in your own life. To begin, in order to qualify for the European Championships as a GB athlete, because each country sets different standards, unfortunately, you have to throw 50 metres. Basically, I needed to throw the 50 and I just hadn't got it. I just kept trying and I couldn't do it. And I had all these competitions, but slowly I had less and less competitions left. And it was getting a bit stressful, you know. I was thinking, all right, I'm not going to get this 50 because I keep trying. And maybe if I'm trying so hard to just qualify, I shouldn't really be going. That was my mindset. So anyway, I admitted to this fact that, you know what, maybe I can't do it. Maybe I'm just not ready. And then, lo and behold, next competition, with this new attitude, which I think is actually useful, which I'll talk about later, I went ahead in the, first round I threw 48 or something, and I was happy because I knew there was bits in that throw that could be fixed. So I was ready, went for the next throw, 51! Bam! Just like that. And then a few throws later I threw 52.68, which is my current PB. My mum's coming now, she's just woken up, so I'm going to have to take a little break. Alright, so where were we? I got the 50 metres, well, almost 3 metres over, but that wasn't all. I had to get the qualifying distance, but then there was a second competition that if I won that, I would automatically go through. So the distance was to make me eligible to get in, and the last competition, which was the age group championships, was to close the deal. Well, I'll tell you more about the competition in a bit. Yeah. Stay and watch to find out. But in the end, I did manage to win and got selected for the Europeans. Sick. What am I supposed to be talking about now? Anyway, with that being said, today is my final training day, so I'm going up to my coach. He lives 2 hours away, which is not optimal, and we're gonna have a throw session, and then go to the gym a bit, and then have some sports therapy massage stuff to get me all loose and ready to go. So, basically, I think that confidence is composed of 2 parts. Evidence and acceptance. I'll talk about the evidence part first, because I think that's the main one out of the 2. And I will begin with a quote by Alex Hormozy. And he basically says that confidence is building an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. So in javelin world, that's getting in all those training sessions and fueling right, recovering, sleeping, and also having done enough competitions that you know you can handle the pressure and just the environment. And the way I'm approaching this for the Europeans is I've 3 main competitions that I've done, and each one proved to myself that I'm capable of a different aspect. So now I'll just give you these examples. At the beginning of the year, I went to Sweden with it was just an indoor international throws competition. And there, so it wasn't going very well. So I was just practicing my run up along the side, just in between someone else was throwing and I was just practicing. And then I completely stack it, in front of everyone. All my other England chumps, all the audience, all the other throwers I'm competing of, I just slide across the floor. Quite embarrassing. Not good, not what you want to do. But holding back the tears, I waddled off to the runway as my throw, and BAM! I threw 48 meters. That was a PB. Well, it was my first competition with the 600, so whatever I threw would be a PB. But I was very happy with that, and it got me a distance to win. So basically, moral of the story, I know that if I really embarrass myself or something goes wrong, I will be able to come back from it because I've done it before. And that's the key thing, is there's not even any mind tricks, it's just pure substance that you have done this before. And so theoretically, you can just do it again. And of course, that comes up to the day, but you've done it before, so you know you're capable of doing it again. My second competition, I've already talked about, was the one where I threw 52.68 at English schools. Now, what was really bad, basically, one of the other athletes really badly injured themselves, and so obviously it's not good for her, but for us, just watching it was really quite traumatizing. But obviously it was very bad for her. But still, the whole competition was delayed, and then they gave us another warm-up throw. And just the feeling, it was like, I don't want to throw after seeing the injury. But I managed to keep it together, and then I threw the 52.68, which I just didn't know what was going on. It was crazy. So basically, that competition showed me that I'm able to, mentally, there's no correlation really between how I feel mentally, which was, I really don't want to do this, I don't want to throw right now, to then just doing it anyway. So that's another very useful thing to have, that you don't really have to be ruled by your thoughts, and that you can kind of just do it anyway. Competition number 3 was the one that I needed to win. It was my last competition, and that was the age group championships. So first off, it was such bad weather. Honestly, awful. Raining, torrential rain. I'll insert clip. Rainy, right? I know. So basically, I was leading for the first, I was leading the whole time until on the very last throw. You have 6 throws we had, and none of us were throwing really well, to be honest. It was because it was so rainy, and it was just trying to get something out, but it was so dead. I'd thrown about 45 at that point, and then this other girl threw 45, but more than my 45, so that was sad. Okay, I have one last throw, and I was the last throw of the competition, just based on the order that it went. I had to throw further, and bam, 46. Mic drop. We got the qualifying. Bish bash bosh, we're in. So that taught me that if I'm really under pressure, I can still perform. And yeah, I can do things that when I look back, I realise, gosh, I didn't really realise how important it was that I got that in, but I still managed to do it. So that is my explanation of evidence. You need to create evidence. So those 3 competitions all prove a different aspect that I'm capable of doing. I'm capable of throwing well when I've just severely embarrassed myself and aura crashed in front of everyone. Number 2, if something traumatic happens and you just really don't want to throw. I was shaking. Just didn't want to do it. I thought I was going to die as well. And then the third example was that under pressure, I can still get one out. Yeah, let me just check my notes to see that I've got everything there. Yeah, so basically build an undeniable stack of proof that you are capable, and you just, in order to get all this evidence, you need practice and experience. So you can't, the foundation of confidence is having done it before. And Alex Hormozy again said that, think of confidence as the percentage likelihood that you'll achieve the thing. So if you've only done it once, then it is probably quite a low percentage likelihood. But if you've done it time after time and again, then it's a much higher chance of you being able to execute when you need to. All right, so the second, oh my gosh. So the battery just died. Inconvenient, I know. So the second part, oh no, that's not good. Hang on. The second part that I believe contributes to confidence is acceptance. And I'll talk about this with two examples, what I've done already and how I am trying to cultivate confidence in the future in the Europeans. And okay, so like I said before, wait, did I say this before or was this just in my imagination? I don't know. Oh yeah, well, I was saying that when I was trying to get the 50 meters, maybe if I'm trying this hard to not get it, then maybe I'm just not ready, and I don't need to force something that I'm just not really ready to do and good enough to do yet. So that was acceptance. I accepted that, maybe it's just not my time. Next year, I've got a whole bunch of years, decades ahead of me, so I don't need to stress too much about if I get in or not. And then I got it, because by accepting, you remove the pressure. Because I reckon there's something about that. But what is accepting really? It's being okay with where you are right now or the circumstances. So, and pressure kind of comes from when you're forcing another circumstance. So the two don't really go together, So if you have one, you can't have the other. So do you choose pressure or do you choose acceptance? I'm going to choose acceptance, because then there is no pressure. That is gold right there. And another thing, when I was at English schools, when I threw the 52, it was in Birmingham, and I was just looking around. It's the biggest stadium that I've competed at, but I was just looking around and I was trying to cultivate this feeling of awe, because I heard somewhere that they did this study and they were one group of people were looking at trees in this forest and the other group were looking at concrete buildings, and basically the group in the forest performed much better on some sort of mental task, I think. So I was trying to cultivate this awe and sense of awe of the place, and I was just enjoying it. I was having a great time. Yeah, all to say there. So that's the first example of acceptance. Going forward, I'm thinking of this competition as a win-win situation. So even if I flunk it, so what? I got my GB kit, I got into this massive competition, and I had the experience. So the experience, whatever happens, I will learn, and I can do it better next time. Just by being there in itself, I'm building the confidence, because next time there's a big competition, it won't feel comparatively as big because I've already experienced something like it. And then I've developed the skills and exposure to something of that scale, and then I know what to expect next time. So that's even if I throw terribly, I've still won effectively, because just by getting there in the first place was a win in my eyes. Now, two, obviously, if I throw really well, then I'll win, but not literally first place, but it will be a win, because, I did as well as I could. So yeah, that's accepting that whatever happens, you can look at it on the bright side and in good light and learn from it. And obviously that reduces pressure, because there's no pressure that there's I'm going to either fail or do well. It's either I'm going to have a good learning and lesson from it, or I'm going to do well. Yeah. Evidence comes in the form of experience, so you have to do the thing, and then acceptance comes in the form of gratitude, so just being happy and grateful that you're in this position anyway, and you might as well make the best of it. And there's no pressure to do anything, because nobody else cares apart from you, really, so just do your best. Yeah. Alright, that was it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Let me know any video topics or kind of struggles. Maybe if you're an athlete yourself, tell me a bit about your struggles. Or, yeah, just whatever your heart desires. Just let it all out in the comment section. Yeah. Alright, thank you for watching. That was video 2 or 3, I don't know which way or order I'll post these. But yeah, see you in the next one.